Hello, everybody. Today I'm here to share with you what I ate during the springtime in my early childhood, as far my memories goes. And hello, everybody, once more, and welcome to new people who came in here. I hope you found what you're looking for, and if you don't find it here, I hope you found it wherever you go. And thank you for all the beautiful messages and being here with me, giving me nice support on my way on recovery from very difficult times. It helps a lot. Thank you. I'm truly very thankful for every kind word. And the little picture. Anyhow, so let's go to my early childhood spring days. Because I was born as Fruitarian, all I want to eat was fruit, and I was misunderstood on that way. I was not supported in that way at all. So I just have to go by with what I get at home and in the meadows, forests, and fields. Spring was March, April, or April, March, and May, April, March. Yeah, whatever it is. It's either March, April, May, or other way around. The April first and then March. Sorry, I'm not sure. I didn't need to look at those things for many years. So I don't pay much attention to those kind of numbers, like what date it is and so on. I had it since I left school. I never pay attention because I also didn't work. I worked few times, but only for a few weeks for different emergency reasons. But otherwise, I have all my time for myself or others. And so, because I was so drawn uh, to fresh produce only, especially fruit, I would eat veggies as well. So when there was, since I remember, we have at, at the shop also some stuff like cauliflower, cabbage. That was something my mom used to cook a lot because she made several meals from those things, and cabbage is a big thing in a Czech cuisine. So there was almost always cabbage in our pantry. And when cauliflower was in the season, cauliflower as well. So even in a communism in the spring, where there was not a big variety, especially in the little towns, like where I come from. So we were getting, the lettuce, cauliflower, tomato, and cucumbers ahead because they were coming maybe somewhere from Hungary or even more south of the Europe. And then the people already, I think in February, end of February, start putting seeds at home in their houses, in their apartments. We have it written apartments because we have a garden lots. You you start the seedlings. So people plant the seeds and the seedlings when the frost for sure left the country till next time people will come out in their gardens or balconies, what have you, and plant those seedlings. Also, we lived in one of the coldest parts of Czech Republic, and I love hot weather. And so we had in a garden lot also glass house, and there were already lettuce very early as well, and tomatoes and cucumbers come soon after. And then it start coming the little carrots, because you sow the seed of the carrot and then you let them grow. The seeds are so fine, you just like sprinkle them in a line. And when they come out, some places they can be really thick. So you let them grow to the reasonable size, and then you pick the ones from the two planted places, and that's how you make room for the other carrots to grow bigger. And we ate those little baby carrots. They were beautiful. Each time we come to garden, that's what we done. We used to pull the carrots. No, we was not allowed. We have to ask father because he was the boss of the garden and he was overprotected with his garden. I never understand that, but now I do. When I start growing my own food, I also get very protected over it because it's a most special, most tasty. It's have a value the money can buy. So I was very blessed to live very close to the forest. And the forest went forever because it was on the borders. It was not far where East and West Germany met together. I was only a few kilometers certain direction from my village. If I walk through the forest, if I know my way, I would be in that town where is the border to West Germany, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20, 15, depends how far fast I could walk. But it wasn't far at all. But uh, so the forest all over, because that border was made of just thick forest uh, all around the country. I don't know how many kilometers the forest thickness, the forest path was. Yeah, it was strange feeling going to that border. There was still the towers and stuff like this. Anyhow, that's a different story. So I was blessed to have all this nature. And I was also blessed that it wasn't time like today. The parents are even scared to let kids on their own go out and play. That's very rare today, especially in Europe. I don't know, here in Australia, I don't pay much attention, but I definitely remember I was very surprised that people drive kids to school, even big kids, like, come on. We have a little kids, they even walk from other village to school, or they will catch bus, you know, but nobody, since the first class is 6 year old. Independence, you know. What's so difficult for 6 year old? to go to bus stop, jump on the bus, and get out in the village. Where is your school? So we were, that was a good benefit of that. We were really, and are my generation, very independent. We know how to take care of ourselves, how to take care of home, because we all have to have a chores. And my favorite chore, you can guess what it was. If I'm being cheeky, I will say eating fruit. But I'm not far from this one. My mom, the good baker, which I could never really classify because I didn't like those things. She used to get offended all her life. And all her life she would, when I was around, even I come from Australia, she will get that piece of pie and she said, "Oh, have a pie. It's so nice. I just bake it. It's really nice." She was so constantly trying me to have it. And I always say, mm, I, why you offering it to me? You know I don't like it. You eat your cake. I made this. And, but the apples, we have the apples all year round. So I can have as many apples I want, kind of, through whole year around. May it be in storage for the winter or already ready on a mighty apple trees. And my father, he loved apples and he would travel on his push bike around the people, around the villages nearby. And he will say, knock on a door and say, "I see you have some apple trees. I'm interested to buy some." And if they say, "Okay, we're happy to sell you some." So my father said, "In that case, give me to one apple. I want to know how it tastes, if they sweet enough, juicy enough, whatever enough I like about the apples." And when he got the good ones, he will buy whatever amount he, we have in a bedroom. Me and my brother, when we were tiny, we shared the bedroom. And there were boxes, the wooden one with the little holes in it, the low ones, so only one row of apple in each one. From the from the ground to the ceiling, few rows. And the bedroom, because in that bedroom we never put the fire on. It was very cold there in the winter. And so we don't freeze there. They used to open the door before we took, like from living room when we have a fire and of course in the kitchen. And we will open the door to our bedroom with the apples and then also the Arjunas, the real ones from the feathers, were put next to the stove on a chair to get warm, and they really keep that warm. And then once we go lie down in that freezing cold bed, they would throw on us the nice warm tuna, and that felt really beautiful. Yeah. That was a good way to go to sleep. So the room was beautiful aroma of the apples. I loved it there. And at night, we were forbidden to eat in the bed, but I would sometimes. Anyway, even I was scared of my father. I was so scared of him because he was heavy duty kind of person to deal with. But many times I could not resist, so I just because my brother, he could opt me in and he get upset with me. So I have to watch my brother too, make sure he sleep first. And then I will slowly, like the tea, with the guilt, go and get up. That's nice. So, plus any time in the daytime, I can grab the apple. But if they missing too many at once, my father will investigate because the main reason why he was so crazy about the apples was, yes, eating them too. Me and him, we were only the big apple muncher in the family. And other fruit, me and my father, we were only people who can sit and really munch on any kind of fruit we like, make a meal of it. So we couldn't eat anything else, or just as the meal, make it simple. But also, there must be enough apples for those apple strudels, apple pies, apple compotes, and who knows what. Like my mother didn't have any pantry, plenty of other boiled apples. She still had to make a compote that was not in a jar, that was just cooked with the sugar and other stuff, and then eat it like this. I could not stand that. That was for me like, even smelling it was like, oh, I could not eat cooked fruit, but only compote, strawberries. And so that's the one thing, like in the spring when wasn't still fresh produce, we still have some strawberry compote. So they were very special for special occasions. Even we have a lot of them. But sometimes I beg my mom if I can have one just for myself. Like they were only big jars like this. And they were cooked, like boiled, like steamed for a short time in, in their own kind of juices. That's the only cooked fruit I can tolerate and I even really like. But of course, the fresh strawberries, nothing could beat fresh strawberries. So also, so there was in the early spring already a lot of lettuce, first from the shop, then from the gardens. My grandma, she lived at school as keeper, school keeper, and she lived on the ground floor of the school, and opposite on other side of the building there was the director of the school, and he had a garden. And when he went for and the director with all his family for 2 months in the summertime, that was already summer, but talking about spring, but just telling you, in the summertime, my grandma could get everything from the garden because they was in home and that was biggest harvest of everything. But she got it for looking, watering the garden, weeding the garden. And before they went on a holiday, because they also have a lot of lettuce and everything that when they have excess, they used to give my grandmother, and she used to share it with us and other son of her and his family because they used to come on a weekend, visit her. Not sometimes, not all of them, but the son will be always there. Cheers. Also, the main um, food source for me, as far amount goes, and free access to, was the meadows. That's when I ate a lot of greens, a lot of flowers, and from trees, the buds, the budding leaves, the new leaves coming up. Even the buds, when they were already really big, you can see the leaves start coming out. That was already, we could eat that. And that was early spring, so it was mainly the birch and lime tree, and also pine trees. They have this new growth of really light green, like little brushes, very beautiful. And so we chew on that too, and all year around, so including the spring, the few kids I know, some kid actually showed me that. Maybe it was even my brother, I'm not sure. So the sap coming out of the tree, like we said, the tree is crying, and you take that sap and chew it. And first it was because very sticky and stuff, but soon after chewing for a while, it would become just like a chewing gum. So we actually called it chewing gum. And that was good because that can be chewed for hours. The longer I chew it, the better it was. And yes, very good. Um, that was another thing we ate. And grass. So a lot of different the weeds, the either flowers or leaves or both, like dandelion flowers, the little daisy flowers. Unfortunately, I don't have enough names in English of those plants, but just middle of the Europe, meadow, edible greens and flowers. There were also herbs, but they very aromatic, so we couldn't eat them much. But we ate usually just the flowers, the leaves were too much. And but we used to crush the leaves and smell it. Beautiful. And then sometimes when I got older, my mom, she sent me to pick the herbs. She used to put it in a bathtub. That was nice. And so early spring, there was not as much food yet. There was not berry or early apples that come later on. So spring was mainly greens from the meadows, flowers from the meadows, sap from the trees, the leaves from the trees, the new leaves, and see if something else come to me. Also, I remember because Czech people, they put lemon in their tea besides the sugar. Who knows what else? Like my father used to put cordial as well. He was big sugar addict. He put so many sugars and the cordial in, and then the heaps of lemon to even got that sweetness. He loves sweet and sour. He said when he was little kid, they used to have in the basement bags, 50 kilo bags of sugar. They were farmers. So they have bags of everything at home. Maybe that was normal before. People have because they were making all food at home. It wasn't, I go to baker, I go to butcher or some supermarket, forget that. It wasn't like that. He was growing up in a little village and people were just giving to each other, but exchanging stuff and stuff like this. So anyway, he said he used to go to Weissman with the big spoon, the soup spoon, and he would have a heaped spoon of sugar from the bag, pour vinegar on it, and eat it. He said he was on it every day, but he was hard worker. He didn't want to go to school. He wanted to work on a farm. That was his hard thing. His heart was all in a farming the land, the growing food, taking care of horses. Because if they need to go to big town, they go with the horses. There was no crowd. So, yes, so my father, the apple and sugar lover, he, he would make sure the apples last till the new ones come, so he have enough for his apple pies. And who do you think that was my chore? I was the one who peeled the all apples, and I loved it because peeling apples, it's beautiful thing to do, and it smells beautiful, and the apple looks beautiful, and just looking at that apple and peeling him all around like this, round and round and round. So I learned to do all in one peel, the whole apple, and when I finish the peeling, I eat the skin. And when my mother grated the apple and she threw out those cores, I, I will grab them, chew them up, and spit the seeds and those hard bits they can get easy between the teeth. Plus, plus we had so that's what I was eating. That was all year round because all year round was apples to the apple pies, different kinds. And also there were, we have to peel. I have to peel. Or I love to peel. For a soup, like Czech people, soup is part of every meal, especially the lunchtime must be soup, and then main course, and then something sweet. Maybe just boiled fruit with sugar as well. But had no fresh fruit, never fresh fruit. Always the fruit somehow cooked or some those pies already. Anyhow, so I was peeling carrots, parsnips, celery, potatoes, you name it. If there was on a market, I would peel it. And for my mother, as she was cooking with it, I was cutting cabbage very thin. I have to do very thin slices because Czech people cook cabbage a lot. And I was eating it, and my mom, she would the core throw in a bucket. We have that size of bucket at home, and that was for the chickens and for the rabbits. No, for the chickens only. The rabbits, they have a special bag because they couldn't eat certain things, blah, blah, and so on. And so the bucket for chickens, Each time I come from running around outside, I will check the bucket if my mom wasn't feeling something or something new in there. And if it was something I like, I would eat it. I could not. I said to my mom, I like that cabbage core. She just say, hey, you won't eat that. That's people don't eat that. And she threw it there for the chicken. So later on, I will go and take it out and eat it. So I used to eat, make sure there is nothing in that bucket I would not like to eat. And if there it was, I would eat it. And then the rest was for the chickens. And believe me, anywhere I could, I would eat that raw fresh and food produce. And with the lettuce, I like only the middle part, the soft tender leaves. And my grandma, because she was getting also a lot of lettuce from the director, school director, before they even leave for a holiday, the whole spring and then whole summer. She has so much lettuce that she knew I like that middle of the lettuce, so she would keep them only for me and give it to me. They make, Czech people, they make salad like only from lettuce or only from tomatoes or only from cucumber. They didn't do mixed salads at all. They arrived after the revolution, but when the German war went down and so on. And this, and it usually have a very similar dressing of those salads. And it was vinegar, sugar, water, and salt. Salt. That's it. Tomato salad had a raw onion, and that's it. On the top of it, on top of what I just said. And the cucumber salad would be just like the lettuce salad. Anyhow, I loved all those salads. I wasn't very keen on the dressing. So the cucumbers, because they were grated, not sliced, grated on the bigger holes of the grater, and they oozed a lot of juice. And my mother still went and put the water in it. I thought I'm going to die. I was just a little kid, and I said, my God, why she's putting water in it? There's already so much this beautiful cucumber juice. So she diluted the flavor, the goodness of it, the best part of it. She fully diluted and corrupted with that water. She mixed in that sugar, vinegar, and salt. So I used to eat it. We have it like in the bowl, salad bowls, and I would each have their own salad bowl. And I will put mine, and I will gather the cucumber on the side of the bowl, lift it up, squash the juice as much I can out, and then put it in my mouth. So I would I was so fussy eater. You know, this is funny. I met a friend this girl in Sweden, and we become friends. And when I learned about how she eats and stuff and how she's funny with the food, she wouldn't eat this or that in this stage or that stage or what have you. I remember I told her, you are so fussy with the food. I can't believe it. And then the same day I was at home and I thought about myself actually, how I am with the food. And then for the first time I was already like a 50-year-old and I realized how I'm fussy. I might even more than her, about the food. So yeah, and once, this is the story my father used to like to say each time he visited some relatives or something. That was a story I'm sure everybody heard it 10 times throughout the year. I was very little kid, maybe 5 year old. And this was the blessing. It was everything was so close, and parents wasn't so fuss like they children run around. We usually run with the other kids, and we just play, and there was no problems, and it was so good. So I could already like 5 year old. I was running around there freely in those places, and we eat red clover flowers, white clover flowers, very sweet. The grass, we would eat grass as is, or sometimes we just pull the grass, the middle part of it, out like this. It goes very easy. And then we would chew the juicy sweet end, which is almost white because the chlorophyll doesn't get there. There's no sun excess. I had so busy week. I can't buy. I'm happy it's weekend. Tomorrow's too busy. I can't wait to have a weekend and fully switch off. Fully switch off. Ah. So from fields, this story, yeah. So it was in the springtime, and I was grazing in the meadows as usual. But and I come home, and my father goes, as always, I have to eat all my dinner. Of course, my brother too. Like my parents, they didn't eat with us. We eat together only on a weekend for a lunch. That's all. Saturday, Sunday lunch. Before was only Saturday because Saturday was, before was only Sunday because Saturday was working day. I remember till I was like 10 year old, we have to go to school 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. And I remember when the free whole weekend come in, everybody was very pleased about that. So in a usual day, weekday, when well, for lunch, we have a lunch at school, thanks God. Dinner was at home. So I was grazing on a meadow and never think what time is. And often I got really big hiding because I forgot the time and I may come 5 minutes late or something. Anyhow, we ate in a way. My brother and me sat by the table. My father stand there and commenting on our way of eating. Why eating toast so slowly? Chew it properly. Or why you so slow? Why you this? Why you this? Da. And if we were like obviously not into it, and we were like making faces, the kids, they they not manipulative or anything. They just show how they feel and everything. And he could see we just stand. We don't like that food. And yet he was pushing it to us, threatening us, telling us stuff like, war on you, you, dot, 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 you will eat everything. And stuff like this. Or he's going send us to special place. and they just going open our mouth and put a thing in the mouth, and the food will just keep going inside us. This sick, poor sick man. I feel sorry for him. So, and he have to, the plate have to be polished in a certain time. There was the clock above the table, and he said, if you don't finish your meal, when the little hand is there and big hand is there, I will show you something. Very scary man. He was huge, and my friends, they nickname him Jetty, or, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. So, also big mouth. But we were two in it. That was in a way good that we were like, that was something which were bonding us together. That was my brother who helped me with the strategy how to spit, spit it, hide the food and go and spit it or throw it in a toilet so we can survive this. And it was like very unpleasant. And but why I'm saying that? Ah, yeah, I know what the story I'm saying. So it was the dinner as usual. I had to just eat as much. But I still was so full from that meadow. It was difficult for me to eat. And I don't remember if I ate it all or not and got punished. I don't remember that. But I remember that at night I woke up and I was so sick. I have no time to go to toilet, and I threw up. It just come out me like, and so I threw up in the bed. So my mom, she changed the whole my bed, and they put the water in the bathtub. They rinse me in the bathtub first, make me nice and pretty for the bed again, and then they threw the bedding in, that water, and in a nice new bed, covers and everything. I lie down, went back to sleep. In the morning, this is my father's story. He went to the bedroom. My parents were waking up about 4 o'clock. I think they were working since 5, yeah, till 1 o'clock afternoon, which was really good. They have a fair bit of time. So they was about 1:30 at home, but my mom usually shop, as most of the women, on the way from work. So they would be home around 2:30. Anyway, my father early in the morning went in the bathroom, and he sat on the top of the bathtub. It was green, full of grass, like a green stuff, all the weeds and everything. And he could not believe how much of it was, how much I was able to eat of it. I was really like only 5 years old. That was what amazed him the most. Because he knew me, he said, I'm not surprised she ate grass. I know she's our goat, they call me goat, they call me caterpillar, squirrel, you know. When there was cauliflower in the pantry or cabbage, I will always take peel bit of leaf, take bit of cauliflower. And of course, my mom noticed it, and she said, caterpillar was in our pantry today, and I really like that. Oh, squirrel was here because sometimes I ate almonds we used to buy in Germany before Christmas because we could never buy almonds in Czech Republic, but East Germany have them. So, but she always noticed because again, children, I never put it back as it should be or the same place or what have you. She always knew I was there and munching on something. So that was another thing to survive, to always check what's in the pantry if I can have a little bit. And I will keep going back and have a little bit. And then my mom, she said, I better make something from that caterpillar before you eat it all. Stuff like this. So anyway, I was cutting all those things. I was eating them. I never ate potato peels, but I would eat raw potato even when I was peeling potatoes for my mom. We, um, if there was some smaller one, I would keep it. I would cut it in pieces and just munch on it. So as I was peeling either fruit or vegetable for the meals my mom was making, I would always have a big munchies as I go. And I was glad my mom, she let me, she never say anything. In contrary, when on a weekend, when, when on certain time, when there was some children show I would like to watch, that was already TV on. I was already then like 8 years old. She would let me peel the stuff in the living room, and she would give me peel more carrots than she would put in the soup. And then when she took it in the kitchen, she cut it in a certain chunks, and she will bring it on the table for me and brother to munch on. My brother he didn't pay attention to it. I always munch it, crunch it all. Yeah, I love that. I always loved that when my mom came in and gave us the, some, could be cucumber, could be chopped up some tomatoes, depends what we had at home at the time from the fresh produce. And it was always me munching it. Yeah. So I don't, yeah, I have to watch that time because I talk and time flies. And um, so yeah, I have a lot of lettuce in the spring, a lot of greens. And the summertime is going to be the most interesting, or maybe not. I don't know, but definitely there will be the most variety available. And that was the time when I was fully in my element, and that I will share with you in a summertime video. Maybe next Friday, maybe other Friday. I didn't make up my mind yet. I don't make plans. I decide just before I'm supposed to do the video. I decide before, sometimes could be night before or in the morning of that day while I'm doing my chores, make sure everything is done. I don't forget anything, but I tend to forget usually one thing anyway, but that's okay. Well, I hope um, I said the most important things. Also, I want to mention that, yeah, and from the fields we were eating I already mentioned the mustard stalks and the grinds, the little grind. when the grinds grass is very short. It's very sweet, very, very sweet and strong and juicy. So we used to chew on that as well. Otherwise, we're almost black mouth from it. What else? Grass seeds. That was later on. When the grass seeds come up, I used to hold them like this and chew on them. And what wasn't anymore have a good soft texture, I will spit out. This time with the grass from the meadows. And in a forest, as I said, we usually have only the ends of the pine trees in the spring, but uh, in the summertime again, different story. Summertime, blessed, blessed time for a Fruitarian. That's the time of celebration. The whole summer should be celebrated because it's most abundant with the long days, warm, and lot of fresh food made from fruit or vegetables. And yeah, and I forgot to mention with the tea, so Czech people put lemon. So I often, when my father finished with the lemon, he was like boss of the lemons. You have to treat them certain way, you have to squash them certain way, they always have to be on this place, da 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 tra la la hey. And I obeyed because I was scared. I would never think of to do any mistake, to don't scare the giant. Don't wake up the giant, I mean. And then I would eat always the skin, you know, even when you get the skin, the white stuff, everything. I would just eat what's left over from that when he thinks there's no juice in it anymore and threw it in the bucket for the chickens. I've got it. I ate it. And sometimes I manage to smuggle whole lemon just for myself. And I will eat it just like apple, the skin and all, only the seeds, because I tried them and they were very bitter for me. So I just spit them out. I didn't crush them anymore. They didn't have a chance to grow in that cold country. In the winter, they will all die, even if they sprout somewhere through the summertime. And each time, because I have to fight in a way for that food I love, so each time I could have it, it was very satisfying for me. It was like victory day, you know. It was like, yeah, I have what I really love. And no food in the whole world make me feel the way the fruit does. The only thought of having, you know, when when the mango season is coming, I'm always so excited. I start craving those mangoes, you know, or persimmon, whatever I like to eat. Or me and mango used to like a lot of fruits like that together. I remember always I used to get excited. Mango said, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. But I never felt from him such a zest like I always had, you know. It was for me like almost medical. That food, that's such a beautiful food compared to any other food. It's the most beautiful to look at, smell, and to taste. I don't I don't find anything else as tasty for me as fruit. It will be always my food because I learned very soon after I start eating only fruit that I feel the best. I have no problems, no cramps in the stomach, no headaches, no like foggy mind or something, waking up like zombie sometimes. I learned from the experience. I learned out of the love, you know, and I was blessed that when I come across the idea that I should eat only fruit, if I don't want to kill anything, when I was already in Australia, 28-year old, it was for me big celebration. I was so happy that I come across the solution, the best solution as far as food goes, to, to prepare my own food. If I ever learned, the best way would be grow just fruit, the easiest way. So there you go. I come across the, the fact that the, my favorite food since the day I was born, it's actually most loving, most easy grow to food, and most love for the plants, it's in, included. So like, vegans that don't eat animals because they love them. So the ethical fruitarians like I am, they don't eat. They eat fruit because they love the plants. They don't want to take them out before they seed. So it's actually the love later on in my life that took me to this beautiful path that I enjoy being myself since I'm like 28 years old. I fully began to be different person with different energy, and the benefits were so beautiful that I was um, convinced that humans must be fruitarians, and this is something which is kept from us as secret. So we don't know who we are, how is it really feel to be really well, and we just live in a darkness, not knowing things, and getting more and more toxic with the food which is everywhere. Food which is not food in my books, especially the processed stuff from shops. The bigger company is, I don't know, but maybe it's not should be measured that way, but usually if you get it from some small producer, it's more like homemade kind of quality, but I don't think it's rule. I think today it would be difficult to buy anything really clean because I believe a lot of food is just labeled with not true information. Anyway, it's a different story. So I hope you get some picture of how I ate as a little kid. with my need for fresh produce, and I was blessed. I have these beautiful apples, the best apples from the area I live all year round. So, and I could, as I said before, if I eat 3, 4 a day, that's no problem. Plus, my grandma, Anichka, I almost forgot not only lettuce. She had a big apple tree on the front of the school. There was two of them. One was the director's, and one was my grandma's. And she had them in a shed for winter, and she had in the bedroom on her wardrobe. They have a big wardrobes, and on the top, the big row of apples. And I used to love to lie down in my grandparents' bed. It was very quiet there. It was very like special energy there, and the cabbage and all the apples. They had those big standing up clock and beautiful picture of some person lying down in the desert, like really skinny people, yeah, maybe even more than me, and the man lying down, and woman kneels above him, and you can see she wants to help him. He's not well. And I used to just stare at that picture. I loved that picture, and at that clock, and at the apples, and out of the window. And uh, it just felt so safe in there. Because Grandma, Anna, she was my angel. And I can go anytime I want and grab the apple from the top of the wardrobe and munch on it. And that's what I was doing in that beautiful, soft, cozy, peaceful environment. And that's a good memories I keep till today, very dear to me. I miss my granny, even she left the earth. I was only like 30 years old. I still miss her so much. I know I will be with her again one day. So it's time to go. Yeah, I'm already getting over a lot. So look, don't forget about that love. Always remember, whatever you do, whatever decision you do, make sure it comes from the love from your heart. And then you can be happy. That will reward you. That will make you feel good. Even if something goes pear-shaped, keep that love flowing. Don't let the shadow, the darkness, the anger, the revenge, the whatever you, what have you, free yourself from the darkness. You don't need a darkness. You need a light. I need a light. I operate on light. When the darkness comes to me, I do my best to push it away from me in any form, shape, and way. Don't forget about that love. Cultivate love in your heart. Give it and receive it. Learn to give and receive love. It's the best you can do here on the earth. You can't do better than that. I'm sending you a lot of love, big hug, lot of blessings, and all you want, may all your wishes come true if they of good intention. As you know, I'm not saying goodbye because we are together in a mind, in a spirit, and it's a very special for me, this place, and thank you for being part of it. So, all the best, and I'll see you next Friday. I'll be here, and you watch it whenever you want, of course. Lots of love. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Do it for yourself. Love yourself. Don't forget that one. That's the most important. That's the first step.